Welcome in, everyone. So today we are going to be starting chapter 7 of the Watanagashi chapter for Higurashi When They Cry playthrough. So literally starting the second half roughly, so I'm terrified.
本当に伝えたいのは違う言葉だった。本当に感じたいのは違う心だった。すれ違いが溝を生み、ためらいの気持ちが人を恐怖へと沈ませる。もう誰も止められない。冷たい感情がむき出しの心を深く残酷にえぐってゆく。
Now I'm even more terrified.
綿流し。
I didn't expect that.
なぜあの時とつぶやく後悔の言葉。それはもはや虚しい響きだった。
I was not expecting that. Whoa. And like the voiceover for it was so good. I was expecting I would have to read it. That was really good. At first I thought I knew the voice of who was reading that, but then it kind of trailed off and I couldn't 100% tell. But I'm not sure. But yeah, we're second half. We're ready to go. Let's check in and see what Ren is up to. Ren was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy. Yeah, I was gonna say, like...
でも今日ケイチ君にする最初の挨拶だからやっぱりおはようがいいな。
I guess logically you're not wrong. It really throws me off though. It's like, you know, 8 o'clock at night you go up to them and you're like, good morning. I'm like, what? Bro, what? How? That would throw me off. I think I'm gonna start doing that with people now. I grabbed Ren's head and rubbed it with my hand. Oh. I don't like that they zoomed that in, because that means they're going to do it with the spooky parts. I don't like that. That's going to be terrifying. Grabbed Ren's head and rubbed it with my... Oh, I already read that. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. She squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat. Meow, meow.
Yahoo, Kei-chan. 昨日は申し訳なかったね。黙って帰っちゃってさ。
That's right, Keiichi was being kind of doucher.
それを言うなら俺の方が悪かった。ミオをずっと待たせっぱなしでごめんな。
昨日のお祭りの準備のことかな。どうだったケイチ君。しっかりとお仕事してた？
The slight muscle pain throughout my body and my sluggish movements were already obvious. And he also didn't get all that beer they were promising. It's kind of messed up, man.
へばってたけどね。
I grinned dryly and the three of us break out into laughter.
サトコとリカちゃんは祭り会場で合流か？
リカちゃんはほら大切なお勤めがあるから昨日から。
Oh, that's right. Tonight, or not tonight, but like this chapter is literally the Watanagashi chapter, or the Watanagashi festival. Right, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She'd been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I needed to make sure I went and cheered her on.
よっしゃ、早速行こうぜ。
Heck yeah, let's go. Look at that sky. Oh, wow, that was a cool transition. I like that. The color change was sweet. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. It began to get noisier, too. I thought I could hear something like a Bon dance song. Like a bonfire? Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs. It's impressive after doing all that work. He's excited, man. I'd be doing the same thing. Oh, look at that. That looks so fun. Whoa, the shrine grounds. They're packed with people. That was a festival if I ever saw one. That actually looks really cool. That looks so much fun, too. I want to play this Max's game, and then got this little bunny in the top. I want to play all of them.
Hinamizawa ありゃ、君吉分家のおじいさんまで来てるじゃない。あのじいさん、去年の綿流しからずっと体調崩してたんだけど、元気になったみたいだね。
Well, that's good. Yeah, there are a lot of villagers here that I didn't really know. They must have all been pouring in just for today.
あ、さとこちゃんだ。はーい。あら、皆さんでございますの。こんにちはですわ。
Last time I saw Satsuko on here, I did that weird little, like, goat slapping.
よ、サトコ。今日はすごい人手だよな。はぐれて迷子になるなよ。
That really just made me laugh.
誰が迷子になるんですの？
Satsuko, too, seems somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
あれ？リカちゃんは？ まだ自由時間でしょ？
Were these like gold and silver balloons in the back? Is that like a shooting game? Or like the little one where you like shoot, or not shoot, but like throw the dart? Those are fun. I haven't been to a festival in a couple of years.
村長さんたちと挨拶してましたですわ。
Or like something along these lines.
すぐに来るでございますわよ。
I see. Rick-chan is a shrine maiden for today's festival after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the elders.
実に大変なのですよ。
Speak of the devil and it shall appear.
こんにちはなのです。
And somebody's about to get kidnapped.
お持ち帰り。
Bro, take it down like 5 notches. You're a bit too intense right now. Rick-chan wore an immaculate shrine maiden outfit, looked fresh off the shelves. It was a perfect fit for her somehow mystical appearance.
どう？丈とか長すぎない？バッチャからもしも袖がかかるようならって安全ピンを預かってきてるんだけど。
That was nice of her.
大丈夫なのです。実に快適なのですよ。
Comfy, comfy. As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches.
いいね、いいよね、これかいいよね。
Ren is dead. There is approximately one person here getting a nosebleed from watching Rick-chan move. And Ren is just... Oh my god, she's gotta chill. I'm sure this is illegal somewhere.
思わないならペダルになっちゃうからお持ち帰
Oh my god.
り。
すごく可愛いと思うぞ。かなり
How
下手す。
cute.
不敬のふりをして写真を撮りまくりたいくらいだ。
That's
2
weird,
点から
bro.
撮影して立体視できるようにすれば、立体の生リカちゃんが自宅でいつでももとい眺め放題。
That's weird.
いいね、いいね、いいね。
Ren's eyes and mine glittered with stars. Their noses bled and we drooled. You guys are weird, man. Y'all need some
いい
help.
か、あいつらに近寄ると大変ですわよ。地下室とかに閉じ込められるかもしれないのです。
This is getting too dark. Can we just go play games, guys, please? Please, let's go play games.
その割にはリカちゃん楽しそうだけど。
ミーがひどいことを言うのですよ。
We all laughed together again.
じゃ
Thankfully.
もたもたしないで祭り用もあるかね。
Please,
リ
let's
カちゃん
go.
の出番までそう時間がないでしょ。
Before somebody here
そうだな。
gets arrested.
よっしゃ、行こうぜみんな。
Yeah, party music. Yo, what's up,
小
dude?
野崎のお嬢ちゃんじゃねえの。食ってきな。豚肉たっぷりの焼きそばだぜよ。今年はイカリングまで入ってるボリューム派よ。
ヘイ親父。
Yakisoba can have pork in it? I thought it was only like...
今年の
I'm
焼
probably
きそば
thinking
も
something
なか
different
なか
then.
力作じゃない
I
の。
thought it was just octopus.
イカまで入れるとは。
Could be
今
wrong
年
though.
は奮発してるね。
I tried it once and I'm not a fan of... Oh, wait, am I thinking something different? No, that was it. I'm not a fan of like octopus though. It just didn't taste good. It's too like
美味しいね、美味しいね。
the texture. I don't like that kind of texture.
あ
Threw me off.
あ、イカってのは食ってもうまいが、それ以上に匂いが香ばしいんだよな。軟弱になりがちな歯ごたえも実に見事に補ってる。イカと豚肉のボリューム感は実に素晴らしい。
Mixed with pork though is interesting. I wonder if that would balance it out.
悪くない出来だ。
へえ、ケイちゃんって何気に料理番組の司会とかに向いてるね。
It's pretty impressive.
ケイチくんが美味しそうに食べてると、なんだかいつもよりもずっと美味しそうに感じるもんね。
俺はうま
Delectable.
いものはうまいっていう主義なんだよ。だから俺がうまいっていうものはとりあえず試してみる価値があると思うぞ。
Yeah, you shouldn't discriminate against delicious food.
ではケイ
All
チ、
food is delicious.
この焼きそばの評価を改めてどうぞなのですよ。
Yeah, hype it
一
up, dude.
言で言うとだ。うまい。
Absolutely scrumptious. That's
胃
a good
袋
way
がもう
to.
一つあるんなら迷わずもう一つ買って
That's
る
a
な。
great way to describe food. Having heard my 3-star rating, a whole line of people suddenly formed in front of the yakisoba stand. Oh, my dude making them money.
すごいよ。ケイちゃんがあんまりにも美味しそうに言うもんだから集客効果バッチリだわ。
He'll become a good salesman one day. There was nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out my chest and put on airs. Mm-hmm.
あら、
Gotta take
そう
those
なんで
W's
す
when you
の？
can.
では私も挑戦してみましたよ。おじさん、たこ焼き一つくださいますこと？
Could I perchance bother you for your one I was gonna say teriyaki. Takoyaki. You're scrumptious. Sakuo bought a stick of takoyaki, balls of fried octopus. See, I was right. I'm not going crazy. From the adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth.
どうかな、さとこちゃん。美味しい評価が出るならペナも買うよ。
Chomp chomp. Choo choo. Gulp.
料理評論家の北条聡子審査員のご感想をどうぞ。
I think they're all food critics all of a sudden. This is great.
と
She's not a fan.
うーん
Not a fan at all. Though she was all for it a moment ago, Satsuko hesitated to give her thoughts. Hey now, what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it into their mouths. Oh god.
あれれ
They all look so
レナのは
depressed.
外れだね。
Got you shipped?
僕のも外れです。
Oh.
タコさんが入ってないのです。
What? This takoyaki vendor. Could this be some sort of summer festival only octopus free takoyaki stand? An evil takoyaki stand that skimped on the octopus because they figured it would make them good money today. Crafty bastards.
私のには入ってたわ。うん。タコが入ってる分には十分うまいよ。
I'm so confused right
こ
now.
のタコなしたこ焼きをどう美味しそうに解説すればいいんですの？
So it's just dough? Everyone wondered about that. Our quizzical looks seemed to be drawing equally dubious stares from people in line.
こんなのはどうかな。たこ焼きなのにタコが入ってないからとってもヘルシ
Is
ー。
it?
タコの嫌いな人でも食べられる美味しいたこ焼き。
It'd be good. I don't like octopus. I would try it. After eating that, several surprised guests left the line. Oh no. It had the exact opposite effect. That's what happens when you don't put
じ
your
ゃあ次は私が
octopus
挑
in
戦する
your
よ。
takoyaki, bro.
小麦粉やネギ、紅生姜の味などの素朴さをしっとりと味わわせてくれる自信作。
Good way to
タコ
explain
が
it.
入ってない分だけ素材の味が程よく。
And then you kind of fell. It wasn't half bad, but after hearing the "there's no octopus in it" clause, even more people left the line.
リカちゃんは
おー
何かいいコメントはあるか？率直でいいぞ。
これで400円は高いのです。
Perfectly honest, like probably too expensive. God, $4 though. That I always roughly change it over to dollars, where it's like every 100 yen is $1, and that's way too much for a takoyaki. Get out of here with that. Ridiculous. That was too honest. Even more customers leave the line dealing a lethal blow. There were other takoyaki stands around after all.
いやー、なんか私らとんでもないことをしてるような。
Yeah, you
ほ
kind
ら、
of just
サトコ、
ruined
あ
that
んた
guy's
が始め
money.
たことなんだからビシッとここで逆転させなさいよ。
無理でございますわ。タコの入っていないたこ焼きなんてどう褒めればいいんですの？
That's so weird. God, you idiot. Satsuko's angry outburst was the finishing blow. And then everybody else left the line.
お客さんみんないなくなっちゃ
This
った。
poor dude. Well, to be fair, he didn't put
おじさん
octopus
に
in
らん
there.
でる。なんでだろう。なんでだろう。は
Because you guys just got rid of all his customers. That was a dick move. There's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Keiichi Maibara-sama, will lend a generous hand.
ケイイチならきっとなんとかできますですよ。タコなしたこ焼き屋さんを助けてあげてほしいのです。
笑顔でトゲのあることを言うな。まあわかった。俺がプロの技を見せてやるからよく見てろよ。
Let's see it. Let's hear it. I shoved the stick into an octopus-less takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. As before, there wasn't any octopus in it, but Mion's had some in it. That was the important point. How's he
こ
gonna
の
sell
た
this?
こ焼き屋の親父さんは本当の意味でたこ焼きが好きなんだ。いや、愛してると言っていい。
Oh, everyone gasped in surprise, including the takoyaki vendor glaring at
あ
us.
の親父さんは本当にたこ焼きが大好きなんだ。大好きだからこそいい加減なたこ焼きを作りたくないんだ。そうだね、親父さん。
The takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. Those watching were listening intently, wanting to know why octopus-less takoyaki deserves such a high rating.
でもケイイチさん、そんなにたこ焼きが大好きならどうしてタコなしたこ焼きなんか作り
I'm
ます
really
の？
curious how he's gonna turn this around.
た
I'm
こ焼き
actually
に対する裏切りではございませんの？
そうだな、ある意味裏切りだ。だがこれは親父さんにとっての最大限の妥協点なんだ。親父さんは今日だって本当のたこ焼きを作ってるよ。でもそれはこの中のほんの一つか二つでしかない。
huh?
まあそうだね。私の食べた一つにはタコは入ってたし、タコが入ってる分にはそんなに悪い味じゃなかったよ。
Yeah, see?
そう、それが本物のたこ焼きだ。それ以外のたこ焼きは8個入ってなきゃたこ焼きじゃないという一般人の先入観への最大限の妥協なんだ。
Oh. It's a good way to turn it around.
ケイイチ君の言う意味がわからないよ。
He's saying that he's just being
どうして
unique.
本物は一つで他は偽物なのかな？かな？
Like the needle test. Or the test with the
その秘密は
balls of meat. I forgot
タ
what those
コ
were
にあるん
called.
だ。親父さん、このタコ、本物の明石のタコだね。近年、明石のタコの水揚げは激減して、とても高騰しているんだ。たこ
Damn.
焼きなんかにとても使えないような、とても高い値段になってしまってるんだ。
Then the man who had been looking down this whole time mumbled.
ああ、そうよ。明石のタコはすごく高いんだよ。
でも親父さんは明石のタコにこだわったんだ。安物のいい加減なタコを使えばいくらでもごまかせるのに、明石のじゃないのに明石というのぼりを立てて販売してるインチキたこ焼き屋はいくらでもあるのに、
I'm sold. I would get some.
親父さんはごまかさなかった。嘘をつかなかった。
It's
タコは
amazing,
明石
dude.
この一点だけを固くなに譲らなかったんだ。
I wish that this part was in the anime.
親
This
父
is
さんはたこ焼
fantastic.
きを愛してた。だから嘘をつけなかった。でもどうしても一点だけ強いられる妥協点があったんだ。
それは何ですの？
数さ、
Everybody's
た
so
こ焼きってのは
invested.
一船8個がポピュラーだ。い
Right?
くら本物の明石のタコだからって言って400円で1個だけってわけにはいかないだろ
True.
でも8個にしなくては買ってもらえない。だから親父さんは涙を飲んだ。本物のたこ焼きを一つ作るために残り7個に嘘をつくしかなかったんだ。
Oh, whoa. The octopus-free takoyaki vendor burst into tears. Yes. I gently clapped one of his shoulders.
みんなが何と言おうと俺はあんたの純粋さを忘れない。
Bro. I'm getting emotional over this.
本
Dude,
物のたこ焼き
Keiichi
屋なんだ。
is good with
あ
his
んた
words.
だけがたこ焼き屋を名乗っていいんだ。
Clap, 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 clap. You know what? Respect, respect. I would buy some right now. As I embraced the shoulders of this man, shedding his manly tears, those watching delivered a round of applause, moved by my speech.
さあみんな、この本物のたこ焼き屋のたこ焼きをどうか食べてやってくれ。こんな純粋な男を大事にしなくてどうして本当のたこ焼き道が守れようか。みんなが食わないなら俺が食うぞ。
What a champ. My god.
見てた人たちがみんな並ぶよ。
He just made that man so much money.
ケイチくん、やったやった。
たこ焼きが美味しそうに感じたってよりケイちゃん
Propagandist.
の味演説が面白かったからだろうね。
Hey,
ケイちゃんってガマの油売りとかやったらかなりウケるかもしれ
if
な
it
い。
works, it works, man.
スーパーの実演販売でもやればウケそうですよ。
Not gonna lie, if I had somebody like that, trying to show off products in a supermarket, I'd have to buy some.
怪しい万能包丁とか売りつける仕事に向いてそうですよね。
Suspicious wonder knives. I love that that's always a thing. Absolutely stunned at my successful pitch, the guy manning the stall next to this one called out to me.
おいおい兄ちゃんたち、うちのあんず飴も頼むよ。
よし、要領はつかめただろう。今度はレナが行け。
It's your turn this time. They're all just gonna go around just hyping up the vendors. This is great.
はう、あんず飴が冷えててとっても美味しいんだよ。水飴の上にね、ちょこってあんずが乗ってるの。はう、かわいいね。お持ち帰り。はう。
It looks like she lost herself in this midway through. But a girl giving it such natural praise was itself bringing in some customers. A line was quickly forming behind Rena.
今度はお好み焼き屋だ。さとこ行け。
焼きそばに揚げ玉入りでカリカリなのがとっても美味しいでございますわね。大きなベーコンが丸ごと敷いてあって、かじるとほらビローンって出てきて、はっはっはっ。
おお、
The chomp,
う
chomp,
まい
chomp.
うまい。それなら俺も食ってみたくなる。
Then a huge line formed at my words. What on earth is this? So basically, all these onlookers are just following us around to all these stands.
みんなのを聞いてから食べると、いつもよりずっと美味し
It's a good way to
く
look
感
at
じ
it.
るからなのですよ。
That's why people actually read food critics and stuff. So that's it. Even Rika-chan was gorging herself on the food, getting sauce on the bib she'd put on to prevent her shrine main outfit from getting dirty. Smart.
よーし、おじさんも盛り上がってきたよ。よしケイちゃん、私はどれだ？
よっしゃ。ミオはさらにその隣の露店へ行け。ミオンの底力見せてみろ。
I love it.
あれ？でもケイチくん、お隣のお店は。
Whoops. A goldfish scooping stand. A bit out of our element. It's
Yeah.
goldfishes.
部活の部長たるもの、相手が何であれ逃げられないね。やってみるよ。
can't wait to see this. How are you gonna sell a
ミオンさんのお手並み
goldfish
拝見
stand?
でござい
The onlookers were also watching Mion with hopeful eyes.
いらっしゃい。はいよ。アミットワン。
Alright, let's see it. Oh,
よしやるぞ。
they're gonna keep doing this, aren't they? I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it. It's gonna just zoom in and creep me out, man. It's gonna be bad one time. I know it.
金魚はみんな生きがいいね。実に美味しそう。
Oh,
この
oh.
小さいのなんかそのままボリボリと生でいけちゃうよね。
You're not, but you're not there to eat the goldfish. Probably shouldn't be saying how good they taste, my dude.
ミオンさんは
She's
何
talking
を言っ
about
てるんでござい
eating
ます
the
の？
goldfish, man. You don't do
み
that.
ーちゃん食べてたの？去年レナからもらったのも
Oh no.
食べちゃったの？
Oh no. Wait, does she actually? No, she doesn't actually eat them.
私そんなこと
Yeah,
言ってない。
you just said they're crunchy, my dude. Man's face went red and she shook it vehemently in denial.
いやでも今ミオンお前
Yeah.
自分で言ったぞ。
It's a bit
実
rough,
に
my
美味し
dude.
そうだ。
ええ、
Oh, speak of the
確かに言い
devil.
ました。
Well, not speak of the devil, but I don't know. Shion showed up.
お姉って雑食ですから口に入れば何でも食べちゃうんです。
Omnivorous.
美味しいなら今度僕も試してみるの
Stop.
です。
The poor little goldfish, man. There's gonna be snacked on. They're gonna be like the actual goldfish, but just like a bowl of live goldfish. But it's like people are munching on them like they're the cracker goldfish. Oh, that just, my brain. Okay, brain's gotta stop.
ダメだよリカちゃん、お腹壊しちゃうよ。
Exactly. Don't just munch on raw goldfish. Wait a second. Hey, what the hell? Shion, how long have you been here?
はーい、ケイちゃんにお姉にみんなこんばんは。
Popped up out of nowhere.
あんたどこから湧いてきたのしよ
Mion is just
う。焼きそ
frazzled.
ば屋さんの時からずっとです。
Oh,
お姉たちは騒がしいからすぐに見つけ
she
られ
was
ま
hiding
し
in the
た。
crowd, being sneaky.
あんたは関係ないでしょ。早くどっかへ消えなさいよ。もうお姉もあまり私を邪険にしないでくださいね、ケイちゃん。私が一緒でもいいですよね。
Oh, Keiichi, it's trap. It's trap. I don't like it. I don't like. They're just starting this out of nowhere, man. I don't like it. She asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her chest into it. Whoa, getting serious here. Bounce.
ケイチ君、鼻血出てるよ。
What was that? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Keiichi-kun, you're a pervert. Your nose is bleeding. Why am I reading this? I'm just getting thrown off, man. This game is making me fried. This game is frazzling my brain.
ところてんを押したらニューって出てくるだろ。
What the hell, man? Okay. Just gotta get through it, man. Just gotta get
あ
through
れ
this.
と同じだ。
No, it's not, dude. It is absolutely not.
これは抗いようのない現象なんだよ。
へえ、そうなんですか。
I hate it. I hate it so much.
じゃあ力を入れたらもっと出てくるか
No.
な。
Stop.
ゆ
Oh, I hate this. Shion. Oh my god. Bro. I'm not reading that. What a scream. Holy crap. Oh my god.
鉄
Shion
で
is,
すわ。
Shion is
見
horrible.
損ないましたよ。
Does he have misjudged you?
面白いのです。僕もやってみるのです。
I hate it. No. Stop. 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 First off, Keiichi, you're gonna go to jail soon if you keep this up, my dude. Second off, the faces in front, dude. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's gonna scare the shit out of me. Plentiful, plump feeling on my left shoulder and the sour... Boom, boom, bang. Shion, Rika-chan, and I, our faces now bruised, fell to the ground, limbs sprawled.
よくやった、
Oh,
レナ。
thank fuck, Rena. Thank you so much. Thank you. Somebody needed to get in there.
みんな不潔なんだよ。
That was That was so awkward, dude.
レナに殴られたのです。
You're gonna punch me.
痛いのですよ。
Well, don't be a pervert, bro.
リカは自業自得でしたよ。
Sheesh. Now that Shion was here, the energy around us had increased by 120%. In the wrong direction.
お姉の友達は実に愉快です。退屈しないな。ああ、そう。あんたさえいなくなればもっと愉快なんだけどね。
Shion is such a freaking troll, dude. It's great.
もっと一緒にいたいけど、あんまりケイちゃんを誘惑すると本当にお姉に噛みつかれちゃいそうです。だから私、一時退却しますね。また来ます。じゃあね、お姉。二度と来るな。塩負けしよう。
It reminds me that dude, when she just said get the salt, it reminds me of, I don't know if anybody watches It's Always Sunny. I'm assuming so because that show's fantastic. But when they have the snail show up and Charlie just starts like salting her, it's great.
How is she not getting this?
She's stonewalling us. It is a classic snail technique.
Classic. Ah, get out of here! Oh, he's got the snail! Go, snail! Go!
なん
So
だか
dumb.
珍しいミオンさんを見た気がしますわ。
That smirk is huge.
しーちゃんが一緒だとみーちゃんなんだかかわいいね。
Rena smiled happily, earning her a whack on the head from Mion.
アホなこと言ってんじゃないよ。次行くよ、次。
She's so flustered, it's great. We went about just like that, really noisy and lively to the other stands. We were paying money towards the beginning, but midway through, the guys running the shops thought we were just too funny, and we ended up being able to fool around without paying much more. Nice. Entertainment is cheap. Entertainment is worth it. Thump! The vigorous sound of a big taiko drum echoed through the air.
リカ、そろそろ時間みたいでございましたよ。
Yeah, being summoned.
いよいよなんだね。
Right, it's just about time for Rika-chan to appear in the offertory dance. Offertory. Huh. Wonder if it's
ちょっと
offertory.
ド
I
キ
don't
ド
know.
キしてるのです。
Offertory's a word.
信じなって。
Oh,
リカちゃんが流してきた汗は絶対に無駄になんかならないから。
Mion over here with the believe in yourself speech. Mion slapped hard on Rika-chan's back.
そうですわ。リカはきっとやり遂げますわ
Her。friends are hyping her up. It's great.
頑張るのですよ。その息だよ。
I ball my hand into a fist and raise it into the
応援
air.
してるぞリカちゃん。ファイトオンだぜ。
Aw, he used her line on her.
あ
Ah, that's great. Rika-chan gave the best smile I'd ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off.
ーじゃあ私たちも行こうよ。
そうだな。応援してやろうぜ。
ダメですのよ。演舞中は静かにしていないといけませんでございますわよ。
I got it, jeez. I rubbed a hand through her hair. She was worried about her good friend up to the end. Aw.
なら急いで行かないといい場所がなくなっちゃうよ。行こ
Mion ran off, and everyone else followed a moment later. I just can't stop thinking about that weird-ass moment before me. That was so awkward. A large amount of people had already clustered into a tight space to watch the edifying dance.
こりゃすごい人出だな。
I turned around to look at everyone else, but nobody was there. But where did everyone go? They probably got lost among all these people. Finally, I spotted the back of Mion's head on the other side of the crowd. It definitely doesn't look like I can get over there. Well, we got separated. No big deal. We can just meet back up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around, trying to look for a place where I'd be able to see better. It didn't take long for me to realize I'd have to settle for watching between the heads of the people in front of me, though. Rip. Thump. Once again, an even louder taiko drum resounded. This one was to announce the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elders, who were in priestly garb. I heard low exhalations of admiration, and the seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way, and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. We should have cut playtime short and come here to get good spots earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then the solemn offertory dance began. She had practiced using a mochi-pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival hoe Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down, it was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved, raised and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As a shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Damn, why am I cheering on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend, so I should be right up in the best spot rooting for her. Aw.
ケイちゃん、こっちこっち。
Where'd you come from? Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. She had a mischievous grin on her face, and I took it as her saying she knew a good place nobody else knew of.
シオンなんだなんだ、
黙ってついてきてくださいね。
That sounds sus, I don't like it. After she told me so, she ran a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have someone who knows the lay of the land here at times like this. Impressed thought I was. I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so I wouldn't be left behind. That's what you should have done it the first time. As I wondered in anticipation what kind of secret spot Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around the back of the shrine grounds.
おいおい、どこ行くんだよ。これじゃどんどん離れちゃってるぞ。
黙ってついてくればわかりますから。
It's messed up, Shion. Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people and not much moonlight. It was dark. We had gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people in the shrine grounds. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here?
そっか、どこか高いところがあるんだな。
Nope.
屋根の上とか、そういうところから見下ろそうって言うんだろう。
Nope.
はい。なんで屋根に登んなくちゃいけないんです？
Yes, a
だっ
different
て
plans
そ
in
うじゃ
mind.
なかったら、どうやってリカちゃんの演舞を見るんだよ。
リカちゃまの演舞なんか見たかったんですか？ケイちゃん、ひょっとしてストライクゾーン、ものすごく低くありません？
Come on, man.
なんだか話が微妙に
Yeah,
噛み
you
合わない
guys are
ぞ。
completely
お
different.
前は俺をリカちゃんの演舞がよく見える場所に案内してくれるんじゃないのか？
はい。誰もそんな約束してません
He
よ。
did kind of just assume, but it's a good assumption. Yeah. What's going on? Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion because you're a dumbass? Is it my fault? Yes. Am I just reading wrong things into it?
じ
Yes.
ゃあ、お前は俺をなんでこんなところに呼び出したんだよ。
With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is a dark, dead, empty spot. You can't see it from the festival grounds, and now male and female the same age are all alone together." Could this be? Shion, she's not planning something crazy again, is she?
あれを見てください。
She totally is planning something sus. Shion whispered, pointing in the dark underbrush. And there we saw two figures, one male and one female.
なんだありゃ。まさか。
密会の縄現場に決まってるじゃないですか。
Oh,
ほらほら、よく見てください。
being a bit voyeurs.
誰だかわかります？
It peered intently into the dark at Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomitake-san and Takuto-san. What's up, bros? The two of them were clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure nobody knew they were here, or they were there, as they crouched before the entrance to a wooden storehouse-like building.
まさかシオン、これを見せたくて俺を呼んだのか？
ケイちゃん、リカちゃまの演舞は毎年見られるけど、こういうのは二度とお目にかかれませんよ。
I panic right-clicked, because this is... It's like a creepy, just... I don't know, the whispering's freaking me out. I thought the Sonozaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this, they seemed all too
俺
similar.
は帰るぞ。二度とこんなのに呼ぶなよな。
今動いたらバレちゃいますって。
At our noisy argument, Taco-san suddenly turned around. Uh-oh, you guys got got.
あらあら、どなたかしら？
We held our breaths and tried to wait it out, but it seemed like Takano-san was now acutely aware of our presence. Shion and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush.
どうもこんばんは。お月様の綺麗ないい夜ですね。
あらあら、シオンちゃんに前原くんじゃない。
Oh, she did the RR thing.
こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
おやおや、ケイイチ君も隅に置けないね。こんなところで二人っきりかい？
Tomitake's like, bro, I got
だ
you.
としたら、僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。
No matter what, Tomitake's such a bro. You're the ones who were meeting up secretly. Tomitake-san and Takano-san left to themselves and got on my nerves for some reason.
ってことは、富武さんたちは密会してたってわけじゃないみたいですね。
それはもちろん違うよ。そういうロマンスも嫌いじゃないけどね。
Aw, Tomitake over here being smooth. My dude.
残念だけど、あなたたちが覗き見したくなるような面白い場面じゃないのよ。
Aw, no
期
smooching.
待に添えなくて申し訳ないわね。
Rip.
そうじゃなかったら何してるんですか？富武さん。今、扉の南京錠をいじってませんでした？
What? Huh? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door, fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
バレちゃしょうがないな。僕たちが倉庫破りをしてたなんて内緒だよ。
内緒って、それ、泥棒ってことですか？
I demanded unthinkingly just because of how absently Tomitake-san was grinning.
いやーね、泥棒ってのは物を盗む人たちのことでしょ。別に私たちは物を持ち出そうとしているわけじゃないのよ。
へえ。じゃあ何のために鍵開けなんかしてるんで
Yeah,
すか？
stop being so sus,
ここ
dudes.
開かずの西宮殿ですよね。古出家とほんの一握りの人間しか入ることが許されないっていう。
Forbidden storehouse. Oh, the music got spooky. I took a few steps back at that and looked at the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one, built removed from any signs of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened. And it was built to be durable, giving it a strange, overpowering impression. Now that I looked at it more closely, it was certainly different than normal warehouses.
ここはね、西宮殿といってね、西宮をしまっている倉庫なの。
Sus.
いえ、西宮を祀っている神殿と言ってもいいかもしれないわね。リカちゃんが奉納演舞で使っている祭事用のクワも今日までこの中にしまわれていたものよ。
I gotta say I'm very proud of myself today for not giggling when they said ho numerous times.
もちろん、
'Cause I'm
古
an
出家
adult.
の人間以外は不浄を持ち込むから
I don't like
立ち
this.
入り
I
禁
don't like
止の
this
不
theme.
可侵
So
領域、
spooky.
聖域なの。
Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? Smart, dude. You're the only smart one here. Get the fuck out. However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression, an innocent smile at best, and terribly cruel grin at worst.
私、Hinamizawaの昔語りや伝承を趣味で研究してるって言って、私の知的興味のさまざまな答えがこの中に詰まってるの。この中に入れるチャンスを今日までずっと待ってたんだから。
That's terrifying. A chance. Everybody's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grounds today. This was the ultimate blind spot. Ooh.
へえ。富武さんに鍵開けの技術があるなんて知りませんでした。
Tomitake-san is a jack of all trades.
あ、よしてくれよ。僕だっていやいややってるんだよ。
He's just doing it for love.
付き合わせてしまってごめんなさいね。でも、二郎さんのおかげよ。感謝してるわ。
やれやれ。でも高野さん、こういうのはこれっきりにしてくれよ。こういうところに黙って入り込むのはやっぱり気が引けるよ。
やっぱり二郎さんはいい人ね。
Tomitake is best. I love him. Kerclink. Tomitake-san undid the padlock and placed it to the side.
開いたよ。
ありがとう。いよいよね。
Takano-san gulped. With an unusually excited air about her, she gave the heavy door a shove. The sharp smell of mold and dust flowed out from the gap in the doors. I had claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation, I could believe in them. If we went into such a holy place with our shoes on, it feels like we could be punished somehow.
どう？あなたたちも共犯なんだし、せっかくだから一緒に見学しない？Hinamizawaの皮脂を埋める貴重な文化遺産の見物会よ。今日だけの限定会館。
I don't like it.
別に俺たち共犯ってわけじゃ。
面白いと思いません？
I hate the zoom in, man. They're gonna do it so much, aren't they? I hate it.
ねえ、覗いてみましょうよ。
Shion said predictably, linking her arm with mine.
でも、これは絶対いけないことだよ。
Sorry, Keiichi's just trying to get more jelly donut time.
神聖な倉庫なんだろ？西宮殿って言ったっけ？ますます勝手に入っちゃまずいよ。
私は一応その先の人間ですから、この中にあるものはおおよそ想像がついてます。でもそれはケイちゃんにも見てもらいたいものです。
俺に見てもらいたいもの？
Thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes looked entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy, too. My curiosity was at least twice that of a normal person. Average, but doubled the amount of curiosity. Sleeping, forbidden treasures, never to leave this warehouse. Chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then, I want to see. Until a locked door is open, though. I don't know about this.
面白くないって思ったらケイちゃんはすぐに出ればいいです。きっと興味を惹かれると思いますけどね。
Keiichi should just left. Tamataki-san spoke after listening to our discussion, himself having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest.
僕がここで見張っててあげるから、一緒に見てきてごらん。僕はあまり趣味じゃないけど、ケイイチ君みたいな若い男の子には結構面白いかもしれないよ。
Of that laugh. He said, laughing mischievously. There was no ill will in his laughter.
富武さんはこの中に何があるのか知ってるんですか？
まあね、高野さんにたっぷり聞かされてるからね。
相方の特殊な趣味に付き合わされる殿方も大変ですね。
Tamataki-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Takano-san has kind of scary air about her, and like she dropped absolutely everything else for something she had an interest in and go straight for it, but Tamataki-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me no so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter.
じゃあちょっとだけな。
Just a little peek.
面白くなかったらすぐ出るぞ。
You got it. Shion gave me another meow wink wink.
決まったみたいね。じゃあ行きましょうか。次郎さん、留守番をお願いね。
Tamataki-san waved his hand to see us off. Ah, spooky beams. The inside was pitch black, but Takano-san turned on the battery-powered lantern she'd brought, revealing a pretty cramped front room.
真っ暗だね。みんな転ばないように気をつけるんだよ。
ご心配ありがとう。じゃあ門番をよろしくね。ここ閉めるわよ。
Takano-san smiled spitefully, as if leaving Tamataki-san out of something fun, and began to close the
やれ
door.
やれ。じゃあみんなゆっくり楽しんでおいで。
There's a low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
大丈夫よ。予備電池も入ってるアウトドア仕様なんだから。
I would hope.
消えたりなんかしないわよ。
Looks like Takano noticed my uneasy expression. I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there was a heavy and old but sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was the last door sealing away what was within.
ただの倉庫なのに前室があるなんて変わってるでしょ。一度に1枚ずつ扉を出入りさせることによって西宮殿の中が外に見えないようにする工夫だと考えられるわね。
Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here. Huh. That, over there, I spotted a circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wiring, clumsily attached to the wall.
あ、これ明かりのブレーカーか何かじゃないですか？
I flipped the biggest switch I can find, and with a click, the pitch-black room was illuminated by an old, bare light bulb. Oh, that was bright. Everyone scrunched up their faces at the sun's strobe-like brightness.
ダメです。
Before she even finished, Shion slapped my hand and flipped the switch back. There was another loud click, and the room returned to darkness with only a lantern for illumination.
いてててて。
ダメです、ケイちゃん。私たちここに忍び込んでるん
Yeah,
で
if,
すよ。
if you start blaring the lights, dude,
明
people
か
are
りなん
gonna
かつけ
just...
たらバレちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
Whoever's around will notice. I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light.
大丈夫よ。本当に一瞬だし。
Takano-san remained a relaxed adult. It seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see us.
入りましょう。よいしょっと。
The even heavier door opened, and this time, it wasn't just the dust that came out with the air. There was also a nasty smell. One smell was like opening a dust-filled cupboard in the back of a kitchen that hadn't been opened in years. Another smell, nasty one, was hard to explain. It was like the raw odor of a fish mark. Ew. It's nasty. From how the sound echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. Takano-san held up her lantern and revealed the contents of the expansive room. At the back wall of the storehouse, right in front of us, was a Buddha-like holy object standing there looking down at us. I was taken aback by its unseen force, lit up by the slender beam of the lantern. Well, ooh.
あれがHinamizawaの守り神。お社様よ。
Those don't look like fun things to be around. Nope.
社にあるのよりずっと立派ですね。
Oyashiro-sama. So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa. The one guarding the holy land of Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempted to sully the land with the dam construction.
想像してたよりたくさんの細具が収められているようね。でも残念。どれもあまり手入れがされていないわ。
Why is that sad?
状態が悪いのが悔やまれるわね。
I'd say that's a good thing. Nobody should be using them. Even in dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceiling, and shelves. Takano-san, speaking as if in a trance, was infatuated by the various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festival-like or traditional, but instead, it was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or a carpenter. Sure, buddy. Yeah, they definitely look like blacksmith objects. There are a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. I'd imagine there'd be more artistic things in here from the Heian period, but these are a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes, and they caught on right away.
あら、面白くないかしら？
俺は文系でも美術系でもないんで、あんまりこういうのを見てもよく価値がわからないです。
You probably don't want to know.
ケイイチ君はよくわかってないみたい
he doesn't.
ね。
He's a bit dumb.
無理もないけれど。
Takano-san reached into a paper bag she'd been holding the whole time, took out a worn scrapbook and began to flip through it.
じゃあ、ケイイチ君のために昔話でも聞かせてあげようかしら。この地方では一般的な昔話よ。図書館に行けば教育委員会推薦の本にも載ってるくらいにね。
Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place? She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face bellied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found fault with me being scared. I'll endure it for now and pretend to be calm.
いい？じゃあ、読むわよ。
After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book.
昔々、ある山奥の村にね、その沼はね、底なしの深い沼でね。
The theme that's playing right now is also like a super chill consonant, and I like it.
地の底の鬼の国につながっていたんですって。
The rumor said that it was deeper than the ocean and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, a bottomless swamp. Its name was Onagafuchi. Wait, I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifices sinking in the bottomless swamp. Could that be the swamp she's talking about?
ってことは、その村はHinamizawaですね。
察しがいいわね。そうよ。当時は鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたけどね。
鬼ヶ淵村、物騒な響きのある名前だな。
イメージもあったんでしょうね。明治の頃に今の名前に改称されたって聞きました。
The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onagafuchi, which meant the demon's abyss. And the true name of this village, Hinamizawa, was Onagafuchi Village.
村人たちは鬼の国、つまりは地獄のことね。
Keiichi, you should probably move.
鬼の国とつながるという沼を
Probably the best idea
崇め
right
ながら
now.
過ごしてきたの。でもね、ある日のこと。
Oh, demons began to appear one after the other from deep in the swamp. That's a daemon. The villagers feared. That hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do no more than hide themselves and tremble.
で、誰かが鬼を退治するわけですか？
残念だけど、このお話には
Momotaro
桃太郎
Superman.
みたいな正義の味方は登
I
場
was
しない
thinking
わ。
personally a little Yusuke Urameshi action that had to show up there.
じゃあ、村を挙げて戦うわけですか？
まさか村人たちに鬼と互角に戦える力などあるわけもない。
じゃあ、村を捨てて逃げるしかないですよね。
それも無理ね。村人たちにとっても村は大切な郷里だったから。どんな恐ろしい鬼が攻めてきたからといって簡単に逃げ出せるはずもなかったのよ。
じゃあ、どうするんですか？滅びるしかないじゃないですか。
Unable to fight and unable to run. All they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Then, when everyone had lost hope, their god, Oishiro-sama, descended up onto them.
なるほど。つまり、天からやってきたお社様が鬼たちをやっつけるわけですか。
Like a badass does.
ケイちゃんは男の子ですね。すぐに腕力で解決する方に走るんですか
Well,
ら。
they're demons, man. Got punched in the face. Shion sighed, a little annoyed, embarrassed. I held my tongue.
お社様はね、やっつけるとか そういう暴力的な神様じゃなかったの。
He should,
も
though.
っと優しい慈愛のある神様だったの。
I mean, you could be kind and filled with love and benevolence and still, you know, beat somebody up. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from the heavens couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight. They simply prostrated themselves before its radiant authority. Oyashiro-sama urged them to go back to hell from whence they came, but the demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return.
鬼たちの世界にも厳しい戒律があってね。彼らは地獄を追放された鬼たちだったんですって。
Demons, who didn't have a place to go neither in hell nor in the human world. Of course, they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were sorry.
村人たちも話を聞くうちに少しずつ気の毒になっていったわ。それでね、村のみんなで話し合った結果、
対峙するとか追っ払うっていう昔話は多いけど、共存ってのは確かに珍しいですね。
That's really nice.
ですよね。鬼ってのは元来諸悪の象徴のはず。それとの共存を決めたというお話なんだから、本当に変わってます。
'Tis unique. Oh, dark fade out. Oh, look at that. That's a nice view. When the demons first heard the villagers' invitation, they doubted their ears, but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that in payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of power and secrets with the villagers. It's lovely.
お社様はその微笑ましい交流をとても喜んでね。鬼たちが村人と分け隔てなく暮らせるよう人間の姿を与えたんですって。そして自らも地上にとどまり、末永く両者の交流を見守ることにしたんだそうよ。
A land in which man, demon, and god live together. I thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. A god may have mediated for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like that. They're like that where they're both sides live in harmony. I could not for life of me read that for some reason. I see. I guess it's kind of interesting.
普通のおとぎ話ならこのお話は江戸時代にだいぶ加筆されたみたいで、まだまだ続く随分と長い話になってるわ。
鬼の存在は結局村に溶け込んで消えてしまったということですか？
いいえ、消えたりなんかしないです。半分はしっかりと残ってたそうですよ。
The knowledge the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people call transcendent. They were well aware the power they had was heresy, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out their lives in secrecy.
このお話がね、その後に派生するたくさんの昔話。だからこのお話がある意味基礎中の基礎、ベーシックね。
原点ってどういう意味ですか？
村人たちは鬼の血を引いているという部分ですね。つまりこの辺りに伝わるさまざまな伝承や昔話は全部その村の人たちは鬼の血を引いているというのが前提になっているんです。
There was a hint of amusement in Shion's face as she said that. It was like she wanted to say that she, too, had demon blood in her. Is there any proof, though? Maybe it's somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tales.
あら、じゃあ前原くんは沼から鬼が現れて人間と交わったっていうのは本当にあった出来事だって信じてるの？
信じないわけじゃないんですけど。
When she said demons, she meant the ones from hell, but in ancient Japan, the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use involves the drifting foreigner theory. As the story goes, Westerners who were shipwrecked in nearby seas had such markedly different customs that they were called demons. Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different. Their physiqueness, their faces, and their skin color. In Japan, terms like red demon and blue demon evoke images especially of Westerners. Lacking in skin pigments, being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing on their skin would look blue too. A handful of accidental aliens would drift into Japan and came under prosecution, being called demons. They would flee into the mountains to survive, turn into bandit groups, and attack villagers for food and the like.
なんて説はどうでしょう？ちょっと子供じみてますかね。
I mean, it makes sense. Takun gave me a weird smile when, having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis, I unconsciously followed it up with self-deprecation. Still, she didn't smile as if to make fun of me.
別におかしくないわよ。実際に漂流偉人説を唱える人もいるもの。
It makes
でも実
sense.
際はどうなのかは誰にもわからない。山賊化した偉人の集団だったのか、本当に地の底から来た鬼たちだったのかね。
じゃあ高野さんはどっちを信じてるんですか？
真相は別にして、夢のある方を信じたいわね。その方が面白いでしょ。
It is more fun that way, that's for sure. Your answer made her sound like a wee bit like a romanticist. Here I thought she'd reject unrealistic stories like that.
さて、いよいよここからよ。面白くなるのは。
Alright, Anakin. Takano-san brought an end to her storytelling and waits for a moment as if to tantalize us.
Huh?
Suddenly, Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed.
どうしたシオン？
ごめんなさい。気にしないでください。
Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject.
村人たちに半分鬼の血が流れてるのは話したわね。実はその血なんだけど、鬼は鬼でも人食い鬼の血なんだって言われてるの。
人
Nasty.
食い鬼ですか？急に物騒な響きになりましたね。
Did escalate quickly. Oh no, music
そ
stopped.
の血は今でも村人たちには脈々と流れていてね。
Yeah, so are they, eating people out there?
時折
Oh
そ
no.
の血が眠りを
I
覚
don't
ま
like
す
when
と
the
言わ
music
れている
changes,
わ。
man. I thought the fairy tale had a happy ending with the humans and demons living in peace. That began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody story.
人食い鬼だから
Ah, that's not cool.
何十年かに一度どうしても人肉が食べたくて仕方がなくなる周期があるんですって。
Cannibalism is not a good thing, kids.
だ
Just
か
a
らっ
heads up.
て村人同士で共食いするわけにはいかない。だから彼らはその度に人里へ降り鬼隠しをしたと伝えられてるわ。
何ですか？鬼隠しって。
It was the last arc that we just played before this.
平たく言えば鬼たちによる誘拐行為よ。鬼ヶ淵村の村人たちが人里に押し寄せ、哀れな生贄を無理やり力ずくでさらったんですって。
Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lose their human reason. The villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villages and they loathe in a dirty world of the masses below. And then they kill and eat their sacrifices.
それじゃあ鬼と何ら変わりないじゃないですか。お社様はどうしたんです？
Yeah.
その村にとどまって人々を見守ってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
もちろんお社様も了承してたそうよ。だから鬼隠しは無差別ではなく、神様が決めた生贄以外には誰もさらわなかったらしいし。
This Oishiro-sama sounds like a bit of an asshole.
ほとんどの場合は一人か二人だったって記されてるわね。
A village inhabited by those both human and inhuman. It was like the heartwarming episodes of Colors had invented. It was like the heartwarming episodes Colors had inverted, like negative film. I read that as invented for some reason. My brain just could not jive with it, revealing the painful and ugly truth.
そうして生贄をさらってきた夜にはね、哀れな犠牲者を美味しくいただくため、Watanagashiの儀式が開かれたというわ。
Delicious, and just like tonight, Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I was going to reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me.
Watanagashiは確か冬の間に使った布団なんかに感謝するお祭りじゃなかったでしたっけ？
ケイちゃん、綿って言いません？臓物のこと。
Gross. Shion, who had been silent until now, spoke up.
綿？そういえば言うな。
Hey, I just learned how to say entrails in Japanese. Nice.
魚の綿っていう。え？
Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun times I had to say in Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind.
Watanagashi.
I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating.
そう。
Ooh, this music's right now.
前原くんの想像している通りよ。今でこそWatanagashiは毎年6月に行われるちょっと早い夏祭りに過ぎないけど、哀れな食材をさらってきた夜にだけ開かれた 凄惨な人食いの宴のことだったの。
嘘だ。
I had no real reason to say that, but I couldn't help it.
前原君はさっき綿流しは布団を清める儀式だと言ったわね。
Yeah.
綿が詰まった布団って何を意味してると思うかしら？
Futons? Just normal
布団は布
futons?
団だろ
Exactly. Futons are futons, bro.
う。寝具、
They don't mean anything
寝
else.
るための道具だよ。
Yeah,
他に何の意味があるんだよ。
exactly. I was rattling on, desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san was describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. Futons stuffed with cotton. If the cotton represented entrails in both pronunciation and meaning, then entrail-filled futons would have to be humans.
ではリカちゃんがやった奉納演舞を思い出してちょうだい。リカちゃんがあそこで何をしていたか
Dancing
分
with
かっ
a
てくる？
dancing with a hoe.
わからねえよ。第一、リカちゃんの演舞は最後までちゃんと見てないし。
Oh no, I don't like how she stop appearing on the screen like that. I hate it.
ケイちゃんエキサイトしすぎです。
Shion grabbed one of my ears, reminding me that this wasn't somewhere I should raise my voice. Even so, I still can't suppress this agitation I feel.
リカちゃんが持っていた祭事用のクワ
Festival hoe. That time I had to laugh because I'm scared.
もううすうすは気づいてると思うけど、あれは田畑を耕すクワではなくて
It's not a hoe for plowing.
人間の腹をこじ
Oh
開け
yeah,
る
now it's
解放道具なのよ。
Uh-oh. Not a fan. I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I don't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I'd left. When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said, after what I'd seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futons with that hoe, cut them open, and pull out the cotton inside. She'd cut the cotton out one bit at a time and set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was.
平たく言えば魚の綿を取り出して三角コーナーに捨てるのを仰々しく儀式仕立てにしたってことね。
That's
それ
gross.
で儀式はおしまい。その後はそれぞれの役割を持った村人たちがおのおのに肉を解体して美味しくいただいたって考えられてるわね。
At Takano-san's strangely happy giggle, I felt for some reason violent displeasure. That's a mood. Rika-chan, every day during her lunch break, she'd take a rice-pounding mallet into the schoolyard, and she'd work so hard, sweating bullets, to practice for the offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work. Takano-san disgraced it. Yeah, bitch. Even though she worked so hard to practice for today.
高野さんももう少し言葉を選んでほしいです。ケイちゃんナイーブなんですから、あまりからかわないでください。
Yeah, he's a bit dumb. A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware how the story made me feel.
ごめんなさい。男の子だからショッキングな話は結構好きかと思って。
Takano-san spoke without a hint of malice as she smiled gracefully.
この辺まで話を聞けば、ケイちゃんにもこの祭具殿の中にどういうものがあるのか理解できるようになってきませんか？ほら。
Oops. Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern's light. There was... Mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. All those uninteresting tools I didn't understand how to use. They all suddenly took on a new meaning. I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first, they'd looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these sorts of tools before. What are you reading, my dude? Yeah, they came up in a Japanese history textbook. Yes, on the page introducing the Keiichi Shinso, or the new text on anatomy.
こういうのはね、
That's not cool.
医学の本場、ドイツの文献の方がリアルに掲載されてるわよ。
These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools, they're for dissection. Everyone knows that in the Edo period, they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustrations of the dissection tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplements. The things hung up on this wall all looked exactly the same as those.
もっと怖い言い方をするなら、
Ah,
調理道具といったところかしら。
cannibalism is gross. Nah, that's not something to get clapped, my dude. Takano-san, holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her whether I liked it or not. You could just leave. Takano-san illuminated a coiled chain which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain in itself was nothing unusual, but further along were metal fetters that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people.
Kei-chan.
I hate the jumping up thing.
あれ
Shion tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to a restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. My spine froze. My blood felt like it was turning into sherbet as it crawled up my back. On each of the joints, there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them in.
多分まな板じゃないか
That's
しら。
great.
犠牲者を拘束してこの台の上でお料理をしたんだと思うわね。
That's gross. The words chopping block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it as if though from a knife or a saw. They were the most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved these tools weren't just for show. They were used for their original purpose. If someone was strapped tightly onto this table, they probably wouldn't be able to move even a muscle. Their guts would be defenseless. You take one of these eerie cooking... Oh, God. You take one of those eerie cooking... I keep wanting to say looking, but it's just eerie cooking knives lined up over there. Stab them with it. Then you'd slice open their belly and dissect them.
話には聞いてたけどすごい
Before coming in here, Shion had mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside, but seems to have exceeded her imagination.
まだまだあるわよ。どう？老人形館より面白いでしょ
You could say that. Takano-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. This Mio Takano person had its nerve of steel. Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I, for one, was not enjoying myself. I'll be frank. This is all too weird for me. Still, there's something even more horrifying than all this. That would be none other than Takano-san herself. Takano-san holding the lantern giving off such a thin beam of light. If she suddenly turned it off, then what would I do when, the next moment, everything went totally dark? That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light, and anyway, I was scared. At some point, Shion started holding onto my shirt sleeve. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air I felt in my skin changed completely. These cruel tools lined up all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones made to take away sacrifices' freedom, and some were tools made to efficiently disassemble and prepare the bodies for consumption. Snack time. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange-looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to wear the details about what sort of terrifying reason they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were, obviously, constructed in such a way that they could kill people. Makes sense? If that was the goal, then the person you used them on would, obviously, end up dead. If they were done right, yes. The kinds of tools here, however, were different. The tools that were here were for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. Actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrifying ritual process, that would be nice, but they don't even die in the end. They remain in a state of hellish pain, and perhaps they were only being allowed to live. Only now, in this moment, did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was. It was actually terrifying.
人ってね、上手にやると結構殺さずに
Yeah,
済む
just
ものら
like
し
he
い
was
の。
thinking. Takano-san's reading my mind displayed a shocking smile.
魔女狩りで有名な家系。火あぶりなんかはすぐに死んじゃうのよ。全身の皮膚が広範囲にわたって重度の火傷を負うと、組織の分解産物で中毒症状を引き起こし、
Talking about a lot of
重
fun
度の
stuff.
ショックを併発しちゃう
Clearly.
から。
Super fun
まあ
things.
確かに。それに至るまでがギロチンなんかに比べればはるかに長いところに残虐性があるんだけど。
She described such horrors in a strangely medical way. Shion immediately answered the questions I had.
高野さん看護師さんですから
There's a saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess it's true.
ところがね、ローマの時代の処刑方法にね、
Ew.
バーベキューと同じにね、
Oh, that's like
金
the
網で
thing? Oh,
ハサミ
God.
つけて、
Oh.
炭火でじっくりと焼いた
Oh,
ん
it
ですっ
sounds horrible.
て。
To think the memories of when I went to day camp with my family would come rushing back now of all
こ
time
れ
so
だと
vividly.
ね、どういう いうわけか。なかなか死なないらしいのよ。ものの本によると、一昼夜かけて片側が炭化するくらいこんがり
That's
焼いて
horrible, man.
まだ意識があって、流暢に話をしたなんて記述も出てくるから。
That like torture and stuff, man. That freaks me out, dude. I don't like it. It's at the ancient Rome, famous for executions. Thought of plenty of ways to execute someone while having the victim stay alive as long as possible.
その中にね、お腹を開いて、腸をウインナーみたいに引っ張り出して、
Ew.
ウインチで引っ張り上げて晒し物にする刑があったんです。
I mean, they didn't have the internet back then, so they need entertainment somehow, I guess. I don't know, man. Xian was behind me, clinging to me. Not just because she was scared. She was protecting her stomach.
臓物を引っ張り出すなんて聞いただけでもすぐに死んじゃいそうでしょ。
No, I actually learned that from Jurassic Park. You don't. When Alan was telling the kid about the raptor, he's like, they'll start eating you while you're still alive. That poor kid was scarred for life, man.
でもね、丁寧に優しくやるとね、意識がはっきりとした状態のまま腹渡を引きずり出すことって可能らしいのよ。
Ugh, it's so, ugh, I don't like it. It's like my organs were coiling up just from Tako-san's stare.
ウィンチで引っ張り出すっていうのはなんだか大行な方法だけど、
You think?
もっと野蛮に裂いた腹から臓物をちぎっては投げちぎっては投げとい
It
う
sounds like such a mess, though.
そんな恐ろしい刑もあったんじゃないかって十分に考えられない？でも処刑者には意識があるの。それは痛い以上に恐ろしい体験なんでしょうね。
She spoke with pleasure as if she had come here on a sightseeing trip. I heard Xian gulping multiple times near my ears. I'd be the same.
南沢の、いえ、鬼ヶ淵村の綿流しもそんな感じだったのかしらね。
I don't like it.
耳を澄ませば
No.
聞こえてく
But
るような気がしない。
let's not. I want nothing more than not hear anything at all, exactly. So why? Why only at times like these do I begin to hear things I shouldn't be able to? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the silence, man. Takano-san, having realized she'd scared Xian and I enough at this point, smiled soothingly. Then she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. Takano-san left us here. We get even further away from the light. Xian and I, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along our field trip through the ritual storehouse.
これで軽く一周できたかしら。
I would hope so at this point.
面白いところでしょ。
She says, raising a lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason it felt like I was able to see all of those horrible tools at once. Oh, stop with the jumping up! Xian stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck. Ugh. I don't like it. I couldn't tell because it was so dark, but there were a lot more tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They all looked like they were made of iron bars, but then I figured it out. Cages. For cages, they are very small. Cramped cages just for one, like a casket. If you got locked up in there, no, you wouldn't get locked up inside it. It was another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. So many big and large, things of all shapes were hanging down. Takano-san's mention of execution by grilling crosses my mind. Oh no, the grills. We're just surrounded on all sides by these terrifying instruments. Things crowding the ceiling, or even hanging over our heads.
ヨーロッパの拷問道具にこういった鳥かごがたくさん登場するわね。日本にもあったなんて驚きだわ。
ゲイちゃん、あれ中に入ってない？
I would hope not.
ミイラ？
え？どれ？
I think she's seeing things, man. Xian desperately pointed to one of the many human-sized bird cages hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't tell which one she meant. Being that dark, there wasn't any way you could tell if something was there in the first place.
私には何も見えないけど、見間違いじゃないの？
Totally seeing things. Absolutely seeing things. Xian didn't seem convinced, but without a means to confirm for ourselves, we couldn't do much but wonder.
これで前原くんにもなんとなく信じられるようになったんじゃないかしら。Hinamizawaに伝えられる恐ろしい儀式の数々が。
It's got nothing to do with believing in them. Now that I've been shown the real things like this, there's no possible way to deny it. Even the nations of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. It didn't have its own era of hellscape like torturous feasts because of religious suppression and things of that nature. Hinamizawa itself had such a period, and had that much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunts, that was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events, and in this age, nothing that abnormal would ever happen. That must apply to Hinamizawa as well.
中世の暗黒時代とかがそうだったように、Hinamizawaにも暗黒時代があった。そういうものなんだと解釈します。本当にHinamizawaでこういう恐ろしいことがあったのだとしても、
Yeah, it's all in the past.
それは大昔の出来事なんです。
Yeah, nothing like this happens nowadays,
今
right?
暮
Yeah,
らして
yeah,
いる
nope, nope,
Hinamizawa の
nope,
人
nope.
々とは何の関係もないことです。
Nothing at all happens now.
前原くんは本当にHinamizawaが
Yeah,
好きなの
stop,
ね。
stop tormenting the poor kid. It didn't sound like she was making fun of me. Takano-san gave me a light smile.
でも高野さんはその風習が実は現代にも残っているんじゃないかと思ってそうでしたよね。
Shion suggested something that made my heart leap into my throat. Are you telling me that all these horrible things are still going on even today?
これ本当に内緒なんだけど、
how about
しお
no?
んちゃんは理解のある人だから話したけど、他の村人には聞かれたくないの。下手をしたら罰当たり者ってことで袋叩きにされかねないんだから。
Shion flashed a devilish smile as if This has me so on edge, as if reveling in the immorality of it.
前原くんも内緒にしてね。知られたら私、お社様のたたりに会うか、生贄にされちゃうかするかもしれない。たたりなら、今年はどんな死に方をさせられちゃうのかしら。生贄なら、鬼ヶ淵の沼に生きたまま沈められちゃうのかしら。
She's saying it in such a weird way.
そういえば今夜よね。お社様のたたりがある夜は。
Takano-san said, bringing her face right up close to ours, as if to say that if she had the choice, she'd rather suffer the curse. That was what she seemed to be implying. Oh, notepad, like, was that noise? Takano-san took a fairly worn notebook out of her paper bag, then began to flip through its pages. There were all sorts of references and newspaper clippings attached to them, and it had all manner of things written inside. The letters were very small and bunched together, so I couldn't tell at a glance what it was about.
本当は国会図書館で当時の新聞を探したいんだけどね。ほら、ここ。
A photocopy of a page from some book was slid into a notebook, and it too was written in small, tight lettering. Like the other pages, I couldn't tell what it was about just by glancing at it.
これは実際にあったお話よ。明治の終わり頃にね、鬼ヶ淵村で身元不明の惨殺死体が発見されたんです。
I don't see this ending well. An old newspaper clipping attached to the page spoke of something that was no mere rumor or fairy tale.
当時の警察の資料がほとんど残ってないそうだから、口伝と記憶によるものだけなんだけどね。ほら、これ不鮮明だけど、明治の頃の新聞の切り抜きみたい。
Never before has there been a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity. Could it be the work of a demon? Being a copy of a copy was very hard to make out, but it was more than enough to make me feel strangely tense. Near the end of the Meiji era, in old Watanagashi village, a mangled corpse was discovered. The identity of the corpse was unknown. It wasn't even in a state where it could be identified in the first place. It was missing a head, and each limb was separated from the body. Skin had been peeled off the entire body, and there were markings that implied terrible torture in every place imaginable. Not only that, but the belly had been cut open by a sharp knife, the entrails completely dragged out. Ugh. The police immediately began an investigation, but since they couldn't even determine the identity of the victim, much less the criminal, finding answers was extremely difficult.
どういう状況かわかるかしら?
I couldn't imagine such a strange sight, even if I tried. This was the first time I was ever thankful for my lack of imagination.
被害者は生きながらにして全身の皮を剥がれ、あらゆる拷問を受けていじめ殺されたんですって。そして死後に
Yeah, that's great.
さらに遺体を分解、解剖と残虐の限りを尽くしたのではないかって筆者は見ているわ。私はどの工程も生きているうちにやったんじゃないかって思ってるんだけどね。 前原くんはどう思うかしら？
You spoke in a way intended to make me imagine even more vicious things. As my brain was already far over capacity, that's a mood. However, there was no way I could imagine anything more brutal. Then when I broke my gaze from Takano-san's, those strangely shaped weird tools were all around us. I wonder if you could faithfully reproduce the mutilated corpse discovered at the end of the Meiji era with the tools found in this place. I want to deny it. I don't want to admit that something so terrible could have happened at all. Even so, they were so strange, so terrifying, these tools. And as if they had seen through my attempt to escape from them, they did nothing but ridicule me silently.
その薄気味悪い事件が何だって言うんですか？
筆者はね、鬼ヶ淵村の恐ろしい習慣は明治以降の近代。ひょっとすると昭和初期くらいまでは残ってたんじゃないかって結んでるわ。
This corpse at a glance appeared to have been brutally killed after a period of torture. In actuality, however, it was the pitiful sacrificial remains of the man-eater's terrifying feast. The corpse was just leftovers. It was so fantastic, so strange that it didn't feel real. Was this an extension of the legends, too? It happened in the Meiji era, though, which is just too recent to be called a legend. Also, there's newspaper clippings right here suggesting it.
でも本当にあったとしたって昔のことですよね。明治なんて言ったらそれこそ100年くらい前の。
たったよ。たった100年前のことよ。
Yeah, in the hindsight things, that's not that far.
昭和に入ってからだってあるんだから。終戦直後に騒ぎになった缶詰疑惑。あ、ごめんなさい。
I am sorry, the what flesh incident?
この話はタブーだったわよね。
Takano-san immediately stopped talking as if worried about Shion. Shion briefly looked somewhat angry, but that expression soon disappeared.
え？今高野さんなんて言いました？缶詰疑惑って。
Yeah, I have questions. Just then there was a huge creaking noise. Everyone ripped around to look. It was Tamataki-san who opened the door slightly.
驚かせちゃったかな？
A little bit.
あら、二郎さんも見たくて我慢できなくなったかしら？
You're into some weird shit, dude.
僕は遠慮させてもらうよ。生来ね、こういうのは苦手なんだ。
Takano-san held her stomach and had to muffle her laughter as if she wanted to make a comment about his masculinity. Oh no.
それより
Tamataki.
演舞とセレモニーが終わって、みんな沢の方に降りていったよ。あと何分もしないうちにお祭りは終わっちゃう。
あら、いけない。前原くんがあまりにも聞き上手だから、またお話三昧になっちゃったわ。
Lots of stories. I'd really rather you not mention me in a place like this.
二郎さんは表で待っててくれるかしら？私はちょっと写真を撮るわね。本当はいくつか道具を持って帰りたいんだけど、それはさすがに無理そうだからね。
Weirdo. Takano-san took a camera out of her paper bag and began to snap photographs. She looked like she was having fun, like she was on a scavenger hunt.
ケイチ君も出るかい？
もう十分に見ましたので。シオン、もういいだろう。出ようぜ。綺麗な空気が吸いたいよ。
同感です。出ましょう。
I did feel a bit of hesitation at leaving Takano-san by herself in this darkness. When I thought about it, though, I realized that whatever kinds of evil spirits and ghosts lurk in the darkness, none of them could hold a candle to how scary she was. Even if a phantasm were to appear, she'd be overjoyed and flash her camera at it. It seemed like Shion shared my somewhat rude mental images. We exchanged glances and smiled painfully. We left Takano-san there, bathed in a strobe of camera flashes, and decided to go leave the ritual storehouse. Finally. Alright, back to fun times music. Thankfully. Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone to the stream, so their voices were very distant. The voices of the bugs, on the other hand, were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to the place.
どうだい？面白かったかい？
Tamataki-san gave us a somewhat mischievous grin. You should have been able to tell by looking at how pale our faces were.
富武さんと一緒に留守番をしてればよかったです。
Yeah, bro, you should have. Tamataki-san laughed so delightfully that wiped away our dark feelings.
シオンちゃんはどうだったかな？怖かったかい？
一応心の準備があった分怖くはなかったですけど、でもやっぱり実物は迫力あります。
That's one word for it. Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing as how I was in a way worse state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. As Tamataki-san grinned candidly, my mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself.
高野さんはおとなしく見物してたかな。ほら、彼女子供っぽいところがあるだろう。宝の山を前にさぞや興奮してたんじゃないかと思ってね。
Both Shion and I laughed and left that as our answer. Smart.
見るだけならいいんだけどね。こっそりと何かを持ち出したり、いじくりすぎて細具を壊したりしないかが心配なんだよ。
Right, that's quite possible. She's alone in there right now. She might pilfer something small and easily concealed, hiding in her pocket.
やりかねないです。
Shion said what I was thinking.
本当に何も壊したりしなかったかな。なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえたからね。
That's a bit weird.
不安で不安で。
ごめんなさい。フィルムがなくなっちゃったわ。
Of course
ジ
she
ロー
did.
さん、フィルムが余ってたら
How
分
many
けてくれ
pictures
な
are
いか
you
し
taking,
ら。
Takano-san suddenly appeared while we were talking about her, taking everyone by surprise. Tomitaka-san smoothly grinned and responded as if nothing had happened. He's pretty mature. He's just a smooth guy.
もう予備のフィルムは切れちゃったよ。申し訳ないね。
もういついかなる時でもフィルムを残しておかないと
I'm sure he has
決定
plenty
的
of
スクープ写
film,
真なんか撮れないわよ。
but just wants to like leave.
仕方ない
It's
わ
a
ね
mood. Tomitaka-san scratched his head apologetically. Without film, we're done here. Takano-san seemed to have given up because of that too. We checked carefully and make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned to the heavy padlock we'd left beside it.
高野さん、何も持ち出してないだろうね。
失礼ね。そこまで子供じゃないつもりよ。
Her clack. Tomitaka set the padlock back to the way it was before. From a cursory glance, it didn't look like thieves had snuck in at all.
よし、僕たちも沢に行こう。綿を流すところくらいやらないとお祭りに来た意味がないよ。
Tomitaka-san spoke brightly, urging us all on. Setting cotton afloat down the stream. I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. Takano-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse.
もうこれっきりにしてくれよ。十分に知的好奇心は満たせただろう。
まさか。
Our
むしろ
curiosity is
新しい
never
興味を惹
satiated.
かれるような発見ばかりよ。今日のでこれまでの仮説が一気に現実になったわ。これで今後の調べ方がだいぶ変わってくるんだから。
Wow, she's truly indomitable. Her curiosity really is something else. Still interested in all this, though, through and through. We descended the stone stairs, and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see people receiving cotton that had been cut out for them, then wishing upon the cotton and setting it afloat down the stream. The festival was already over.
まずったな。綿流しの一番いいところを撮影し損ねたよ。
Yeah, you're a dumbass, my dude.
あら、
Oh.
まだ遅くないわ
Oh,
よ。
they getting all snug.
私が言って流すんだから。私を取ってはくださらないのかしら。
Takano-san, with an impish expression, brought her head to Tomitaka-san's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for Tomitaka-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of a woman.
じゃあ
Love
ね、
it.
前原くん、しおんちゃんも。
僕たちは今からでも沢に行ってみる。君たちも一緒に来るかい？
まさかお二人の邪魔なんてできません。
that smudge look
ど
on
う
her
ぞごゆっ
face.
くり。
Shion waved her hand to them with an expression just as impish as Takano-san's. Tomitaka-san on his part seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps.
疲れちゃいました。
同感だな。俺も疲れた。
ケイちゃんは綿流し初めてなんですよね。私なんか気にしないで行ってきてください。私は疲れちゃったんで人混みはちょっとパスしておきます。
Yeah, if we were to go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony.
お姉たちがケイちゃんのことを探してるかもしれませんから行ってきてください。
あ、そうだ。ミオンたちと別れたままそれっきりだったな。探してると悪い。
Then Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face, then put her index finger to her lips as if telling me to keep this a secret.
お姉ってすっごく嫉妬深いんです。私がケイちゃんを独占してたことがバレるといろいろうるさいんで今夜のことは秘密にしておいてくださいね。
Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing.
そういう意味だけじゃないですよ。今夜私たちがしたことを思いば秘密にするのは当然です。
That was a bit messed up what
今
you guys
夜
are
起こる
doing.
かもしれないお社様のたたり。私たち4人が最有力候補なんですから
Now
ね
you tell him. The loosening threads of tension became taut again. Shion, however, burst out laughing.
じゃあ私はお姉に出くわす前に退散します。今日は本当に疲れてるからお姉とやり合えるだけの体力はないですし。
シオンってミオンと仲がいいの
Ah,
か
they,
悪い
they
の
get
か
along just fine.
よくわからないな。
Right?
Naka.
Yeah.
いいですよ。
Alright, that's a weird way to say it. Though she said that, her vague expression explained that there are a lot of oddities in a relationship between twins.
俺は一人っ子だからよくわかんないな。せいぜい仲良くしろよ。
はい。余計なおせっかいと受けたまわります。それじゃあ私はこの
Nice.
辺で。
Thank you kindly for
ケイ
your
ちゃんも急い
meddling.
で行った方がいいですよ。本当に綿流しが終わっちゃいます。
Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony of the Watanagashi festival below me.
でも本当にあの音は何だったんでしょうね。不愉快というか、
What sound are you
気
talking
味が
about
悪
there,
いという
fam?
か。
何の音だって？
音ですよ。
What sound? What sound you talking about there, friend?
ドタンバタンって。
Didn't hear a banging
うる
noise.
さかったじゃないですか。
Did not hear a banging noise. I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her, too.
ごめんシオン。はしょらないで最初から説明してくれないか。何がうるさかったって？
ケイちゃん、あれ気にならなかったんですか？
When all's said and done, it was like we were speaking two different languages.
シオン、冗談抜きで初めから説明してくれないか。音がどうしたって？
ケイちゃんこそ冗談抜きで本当に気にならなかったんですか？
Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were staring at the other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held in the urge to shout at her and ask politely one more time.
もう一度聞くからな。質問は俺からだ。
Shion nodded silently.
じゃあ聞くぞ。音がしたって何のことだ？
ドタンバタンってなんだかどこか遠くの板の間で子供が跳ねてるような。本当に気にならなかったんですか？
気にならないも何も。そんな音いつ聞こえた？俺は何も聞いてないぞ。
ちょっとケイちゃん、それ本気で言ってるんですか？
Shion, as if she didn't understand my plain and simple answer, pressed me further, her expression serious. I have no clue what she's talking about, but if it has Shion acting so like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine.
さっき最後殿の中で高野さんと一緒に見て回ってる最中、高野さんが昔話を始めた頃からかな。
Didn't Toмотaki said he heard a weird sound too?
少しずつだんだんとちょくちょくと。
She heard a banging sound like a child jumping on distant floorboards.
嘘だろ？最後の最後で怖がらせるのはなしだぜ、おい。
I didn't hear anything at all. In fact, it was so utterly silent in there that my own heartbeat was almost deafening.
ケイちゃんこそ怖がらせないでください。なんだか高野さんの怖い話に合わせて音を立ててるようで、私ずっと薄気味悪かったんですから。
The chill rose from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body. When it reached my head, my mind froze
ケイちゃんも
over.
高野さんも全然意にも介さない風だったので、私も聞こえないふりをずっとしてましたけど、聞こえましたよね。何度かはすごく大きな音でしたから。
Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different. A "you've got to be kidding" look. In that storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet, listening to terrifying old stories. The whole time, Shion had been hearing a sound that we couldn't hear by herself. Should that make Shion, who heard it, tremble, or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at the time. For now, Shion seemed to have made that decision before I did.
なんだよ突然。
引っかかりましたね、ケイちゃん。
I,
嘘ですよ。
I think
嘘。
you're BSing things there, fam.
はあ？
Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile seemed somehow artificial, and actually made me feel worse. Then, after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left, almost like she was running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but she couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. Now that I think back, Tomitaka said, yeah, see, okay, I did pay attention to that. Tomitaka said the same thing, didn't he?
なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえたからね。僕は不安で不安で。
Tomitaka said the most neutral party present at the time had said he'd heard something. Then that noise, it was real. The banging sounds. Sounds as though a child was jumping up and down on some kind of floorboards far away. Oishiro-sama's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano-san, Tomitaka-san, Shion, and me. The bustling of the people sounded further away than I would have liked, and the sounds of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and yet I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then, all of a sudden, I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lurch.
Keiichi, 見つけたなのです。
And it was Rika-chan. When I turned around, Mion and Rena were there too.
やっと見つけた。あとはさとこか。
今年はみんなはぐれちゃったね。来年からはちゃんと合流場所を決めておきたいな。
そうだね。やっぱりお祭りはみんなと一緒でないとね。
Yeah, you guys should have, like, secured primo seats in the front. Listen to Mion's happy declaration with a little bit of guilt.
ケイチは僕の演舞はちゃんと応援してくれましたですか？
ああ、ちゃんと見てたぜ。最後までちゃんと頑張ったな。ミスもなかったし。
うん、そうだよリカちゃん。あんなのはミスのうちに入らないよ。
Oh. I tensed up as I realized I made a mistake of my own. Oh, jeez. Stop with that. I hate it. Mion slapped a hand on my shoulder a little too roughly. A gross sweat broke out over my whole body.
ケイちゃんはやった？綿をもらって沢に流した？
Yo, she's like right in his face. You haven't yet, right? It's what I could feel her saying. Without the courage to tell any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head.
あれ？そうなのケイチくん。早く行かないと終わっちゃうよ。終わっちゃうよ。
ごめん。初めてのお祭りだからさ。よくルールがわからなくて。
そうだったね。ごめん。
Mion took my hand and we started walking down the stone steps.
ねえケイちゃん。
なんだよ。
シオンには会わなかった？
Mion's a bit pierced. Oh, really pissed. My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion could sense my surprise through my hand.
いや、でも、姿を見たような。
Keiichi, you're slacking your
で
bro.
も、ミオンとそっくりだからな。ミオンだったのかもしれないし。
そんなに間違えないでしょ？
Yeah, they're wearing completely
服
different
装だって
outfits.
違うんだから。
Keiichi, you're
そうだよな。
dumbass, dude. Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me.
しょうがないな、シオンは。まあ、あいつのことだから、放っておいても大丈夫かな。
Mion's expression returned to her formal, usual smile, and we continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. What a way to end it on, like that weird smirk. That's a long chapter, dude. View new tips. Alright, from the scrapbook 4, 5. These are short ones, and then after the festival. Okay. Watanagashi. The rite of Watanagashi is performed during a village festival every June, even now, but reading back to its origin turns up a seriously sanguine ceremony. Originally, Watanagashi would happen at certain intervals, and after receiving Oishiro-sama's trust, they chose sacrifice. Then the entire village would kidnap, demon away, the person and ceremonially dissect and devour them in a feast. Disgusting. The rules that determine the intervals are shrouded in mystery. This is because the ceremonies occurred extremely irregularly. There's a theory that was determined based on astrological fortune-telling, but it isn't too convincing. The residents of ancient Onagafuchi village firmly believed that they were half-man, half-demon transcendents, and that they were more valuable than humans were, and they forced people within and without to accept that. Perhaps the act of kidnapping and eating people was done to prove that they were higher up on the food chain. This is just a hypothesis, but maybe the rite of Watanagashi was a political event for the purpose of being an outlet for, or outright diverting the attention of, the villagers of the isolated Onagafuchi village. In any case, their complaints or dissatisfactions grew serious. If that was the main reason these ceremonies were held, then it's easy to explain how erratic they were. Alright, next tip from the scrapbook 5. The alleged importance of the implements. I can't find anything that gives a concrete description on what the ritual implements were like. They were, however, real, and there definitely existed a multitude of different kinds. One source states that the implements used in the Watanagashi rite alone number 200. The obvious question, then, is why they required such a myriad of them. The rite of Watanagashi was to kidnap people through the demoning away, dissect them, and eat them. I believe the tools were for dissection and restraining, but 200 of them is far too many. Generally, tools evolve in such ways to reach a solution for a certain problem. Once you've reached the ultimate goal, that is, attained a certain level of efficiency, the tool's evolution normally stops there. Regardless, why would they have created so many different kinds? One of the cultural elements responsible for diversification over time is that of entertainment. Tools used for entertainment would evolve over time and branch out. Unlike normal tools, reaching the ultimate goal would be more of a dead end, and in searching for the next goal, they would split into many different subtypes. So then, perhaps it is not a stretch to suggest that these 200-plus implements had some entertainment value. It's just a hypothesis, of course, but maybe the human dissection process was viewed as a type of entertainment. The three families of old would develop one new implement, dissection tool, after another, and each was varied, novel, and attracted spectators to keep them from growing bored. It's not unimaginable. All of them have to be enshrined within that storehouse. There isn't much longer until the night of Watanagashi. Though its original intent had been lost, I will reveal the secrets of the traditional ceremony tonight within the ritual storehouse. I can't restrain my excitement. Watanagashi cannot come soon enough. Takano is a freak. Right, after the festival. Late that night, tensions in the police station were strained. In the silence, many of the staff members' eyes shifted back and forth between the clock and their telephones, counting the seconds that stifled atmosphere. Kumegaya-kun burst in with a young guy trailing behind him.
こっちは検視入りました。じい様もさっき到着です。俺もスタンバイ OK しました。このまま焼死の現場へ直行します。
熊ちゃん、ちょっと話がややこしくなりました。向こうは身元の判別が非常に困難な状態だそうです。
まさか4年前のあれっすか？
いいえ、こんがりといい感じだそうで。
That's not good. He spoke in sportive tones, but the meaning behind his words was heavy. The staff gave a collective sigh.
頭のてっぺんから丸々?
Well, you gotta grill them evenly.
ばっちり黒焦げだそうで、あっちの現場、かわいそうだな。
Cooked with no possessions, then discarded outside the prefecture. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to be identified. The fact that they'd sniffed it out tonight was huge.
今、小宮山君たちが沖宮の歯科医を根こそぎ野襲してます。カルテで歯型照合するしかないでしょう。ごめん、誰かきつめのタバコ2箱ぐらい買ってきてくれません？
The young guy answered in affirmation and darted out into the hallway.
今年は見事見つけましたね。ひょっとすると過去の失踪者もこんな感じで県外で殺されてたんすかね。
なら埋めればいいじゃないですか。重りつけて日本海でも。
Yeah, not just leave them all
琵琶
crispy.
湖でもいいですね。
I wasn't expecting this, like, the dead bodies to be revealed right now, so I'm guessing 2 people died.
どうして一人死んで一人消えるのがこれまでのパターンじゃないですか。
熊ちゃん、仏は拘束なしでドラム缶の中でこんがりでしょ。
Sounds horrible.
多分、締められた後に見つかることを覚悟の上でです。
じゃあ、つまり、今年は消す気は初めからなかったってことっすか？
消す気がないってよりは、これはそれとは全く別のものでしょうね。消すどころか主張しているようにすら感じられますよ。
つまり見せしめの意味があるってことっすか？
He folded his arms and then heaved a long and heavy sigh.
それをしないでやってくれりゃその線もあるんですがね。こんな遠くまで運んで焼いちゃったら下手したらわかんないでしょう。見せしめにするならhinamizawa沢の近くでやるべきなんですよ。殺したことを主張したいのに、場所は演出効果の確実じゃない遠方。主張したいのか隠したいのか。今年は何考えてるのかな、お社様は。
Talking about him like he's an old friend. Oh, hello phone. A telephone ring cut through the heavy silence. A staff member nearby snatched up the receiver.
おいさん、小宮山さんです。出ました。沖宮のデンタルクリニックで3年前に親知らずの治療をしてます。
カ
Well
ルテ
then.
は
レントゲン付きでバッチリと。
Damn.
いやー、こんな明け方前に歯医者さんには申し訳ないな。クマ
Well,
ちゃん、
glad that they actually
小
did.
宮山君からカルテ受け取ったらすぐに出発してください。
了解っす。あ、課長です。夜分お疲れ様です。
大石さん、遅くなって申し訳ない。状況は
やっと面白くなってき
It's
たっ
just
てと
getting
こです
good.
かね。
We just found a cooked up body in
燃
a
えて
barrel.
きたぞー。わー
My dude's a little bit too excited for his own good. Oh my god, what a weirdo. I love it.